What is the definition of success anyway? Let's talk about it.
Initiating surprise in 3,
This
2,
is
1.
The Real Brian Show.
Oh yeah, thanks for joining me today. Appreciate it. Welcome to The Real Brian Show. It is time for your escape from negativity. It's the positive show where anything goes. We hit record, we see what happens. But today, I've got a short episode here talking specifically about the definition of success. But you know what? I may talk about what I'm watching and what I'm listening to as well, because we all have a lot of fun with that kind of stuff. So I'd say let's rock it. Oh yeah. Well, thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. We're here to end the week right, so let's have a little fun here. It is The Real Brian Show. I am The Real Brian. Go Phoenix Suns. If you're a basketball fan, I grew up in Phoenix, okay? I gotta root for these dudes. They got new jerseys now, though. If you're a Suns fan, basketball fan, what do you think? You like the new? This is the old jersey, but do you like the new ones? I'm torn on them. I'm not sure. All right, short solo episode today, as I mentioned. I wanted to talk about the definition of success. It's amazing how many times this has been brought up recently to me, so let's get real about this, and let's find a cool and positive answer to this question. And like I said, I do want to talk about what I'm watching and what I'm listening to, but I'll do that after we get into this topic here. So, tell me, what is the definition of success? Seriously, what is it? Have you thought about that question before? Maybe you've never thought about this question before, but I'm curious if you have. What is the definition of success, or what is your definition of success? And it's funny because, again, the reason I'm bringing this up is because it's been thrown around a lot lately. I see so many people talking about it. They're chasing after something, right? Fill in the blank, by the way, about what you're chasing after. But we're all chasing after something. And the question I would ask for is, what happens when we reach what it is that we're chasing? Did we win? What happens if we never reach it? Did we fail? Did we have like the most miserable, sucky life ever? Then what happens? The definitions of success that I've personally heard and read about are typically centered around money, or maybe they're just, you read them and you hear them and it's kind of like, that's completely unattainable. That's not going to happen. For example, and I like using this because I do a podcast. I have a YouTube channel. So therefore, you hear this a lot. My definition of success for my podcast or my YouTube channel is going to be how many listeners or viewers that I have. But for what? What's the end goal here? I mean, what does that bring you, I guess? So I'm going to keep this brief, as I said, because I don't have a whole lot to say on this one. It's just something I've been thinking about. I see plenty of us spinning our wheels when it comes to that. We start to realize, well, we're never succeeding. We're never reaching that level of success. We're just kind of going about our days, going through the motions, working our butts off. And we get to a certain point, and the question is, did we actually succeed or not? Maybe we already did succeed. Did you even know that? All right, here is the definition of success that I heard from Chris Brogan back in 2014, by the way. And honestly, I think it seems like it's the actual perfect definition of success, in my opinion, by the way. Here it is. The definition of success is to have the freedom to say yes to what you want to say yes to and no to what you want to say no to. Think about that for just a second. Just think about it. I'm going to drink some kombucha. By the way, thanks, Caffeinatrix. We were talking about this a couple weeks ago about kombucha, and I thought, all right, I've got some guava kombucha here. So think about that definition is to have the freedom to say yes to what you want to say yes to and no to what you want to say no to while I drink this kombucha that is not sponsoring this episode, and I wish you were. You know what to do, GTs. GT's Synergy. Come on, sponsor. That is a tasty beverage. Too bad it's not a tasty burger. All right, so if we use that specific definition, the freedom to say yes to what we want to say yes to and no to what we want to say no to, that could include money. That could include how much we actually need or maybe even want to make, but it also can include time. This is a big one, right? How many times have you heard you can't get time back? Especially you hear this as people, they start to get older. They start to realize that, when you're younger, it's like, hurry up Christmas, hurry up whatever, hurry up summer, I don't know. As you get older, you're kind of like, slow down. Hold on, time is precious. So having the freedom to say yes to what you want to say yes to could be, I don't want to work all the time. I want to have the time to hang out. I want to have time to rest and play or do whatever, right? You don't just have to live for the weekends. So this definition could also, success, by the way, could include balance and rest time. It could include time with family, time with your kids, your friends. It can include everything that you need in order to be able to say yes to what you want to say yes to and no to what you want to say no to. So if you want to say no to something, you could. If you have clients, you have a business, you have clients, and you are working with a client that's a pain in the butt, you could say no to that client. You could say, you know what, maybe this isn't the best working scenario, best fit. You could have a job, it doesn't matter, right? But if you don't like your job, you're having a bad time in your job and all that, you could say no to that job and go get a different job. That, to me, would be a definition of success, because you get the choice to say, you know what, I'm going to go say yes to this job instead of the one I'm in right now, because the one I'm in doesn't treat me well, works me 80 hours a week and I get paid 30, fill in the blank, right? This happens way too much, by the way. Now, I would caution one thing. This definition of success does not give us, any of us, by the way, it does not give us the right to be selfish. So yes to what I want to say yes to and no to what I want to say no to does sound selfish, doesn't it? So don't go down that path, because that's not to say that, well, I'm going to do whatever I want and and I don't really care. I'm going to disregard the rules. I'm going to disregard other people, whatever, right? No, of course not. Let's have that as a standard that we're talking about. This is not a selfish definition of success. This is intended to be a selfless move forward, have a positive impact on others. So what would that look like for you? Does this definition of success give you freedom, by the way? Does it give you hope? Does it give you excitement to go like, dude, I could do this? I mean, it does for me personally. This is why I wanted to bring it up, because the more I get asked this question, the more I'm like, okay, I'm just going to share this. I'm just going to tell you what I found this from Chris Brogan. I'm stealing it. I love it. I'm using it. I think it's amazing. Have I achieved it? Well, yeah, I have. I don't achieve it all the time, but I do achieve it frequently, and probably more than I even realize. Maybe I go, man, I didn't hit it yet. I'm not successful. But then I'm like, wait a minute. I was successful. It was just on a small scale and not on necessarily a large scale. So let's celebrate those small wins, and let's stop being, deficient thinkers. Let's start being positive thinkers. Okay. Here's another thing I see this as. You can define your efforts by work, business, health and exercise, diet, time management, friendships, again, life, whatever, right? I think you can define this in every way. What is your definition of success with health and exercise? Well, if you are healthy, then you get to say yes to a lot of things. If you're unhealthy, you won't be able to say yes to those things because you won't be able to physically do it, right? So if you are actively choosing to be healthy, then you will succeed in being able to say yes to what you want to say yes to. So thinking about like, okay, well, I want to say yes to going hiking with friends. Okay, then that's going to involve your health. It's going to involve your time. It's going to involve other things, right? So whatever that kind of, I know this seems kind of big, but I feel like this is a life definition. Saying yes to what you want to say yes to. And it's going to be different for everybody, but that's the freedom of it. And it's so cool because it can involve money, or it may not need to. It may just involve something else. Unfortunately, it does not trump circumstances. I'm pretty sure none of us want to say yes to pain and suffering because it happens, right? But here's what we can do. So think about it this way. The definition of success could be in our minds, not just in our day-to-day work or anything. It could be in our minds. Maybe it's even as simple as saying yes to positivity and yes to healthy responses, even in the midst of pain and suffering. We have that freedom. So if you are able to say yes to positivity and yes to healthy responses and a healthy attitude, then I would say you've succeeded. So there you go. That's what I wanted to share. Super short. Just wanted to jump into it a little bit. I would love to hear your thoughts on this one. And I really hope that this definition actually gives you hope, and I hope it helps you. I don't know if you've thought about this before. I don't know if you've tried to find a good answer. Maybe you're out there like just kind of constantly chasing this so-called success that you're after, and you've never gotten there yet, and you're just depressed about it and you're bummed out or whatever. I hope that this gives you like, dude, I've already achieved it. The definition of success: to say yes to what you want to say yes to and no to what you want to say no to. Let me know your thoughts. I know this episode was a little more specific, but I did also want to talk about what I'm currently watching. And I'd love to hear what you're watching right now, because I know there's a lot out. Movie-wise, I feel so stupid right now. So many of you have gone to the movies. You have seen all of the movies that I want to see, and I haven't seen any of them yet. I mean, I still have not seen The Haunted Mansion. I have not seen The Meg 2. I have not seen The Last Voyage of the Demeter. I have not seen Oppenheimer, Barbie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Blue Beetle. I want to see all of those movies. It's kind of ridiculous. If you've seen these movies, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you recommend going to them, paying money to go see them now, or just waiting until they come out on streaming. But here's what I will say that's out on streaming right now. Hijack, by the way, I talked about. Fantastic. I loved it. Highly recommended. If you have not seen that, it's fun. It's an intense show, but it's good. It's fun. Highly recommend it. Dude, Ahsoka is out. I'm so excited about Ahsoka. I'm so excited. I got to tell you, I'm a Star Wars fan, as you know. Star Wars recently has had its ups and downs, and unfortunately, a lot more, in my opinion, a lot more downs recently than ups. But I really loved Andor. I'm pumped for Ahsoka. I have loved the character of Ahsoka. By the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Star Wars Clone Wars. This was an animated, kind of a cartoon series. I think it was Cartoon Network. It was a series that came out a long time ago. This character of Ahsoka Tano was Anakin Skywalker's Padawan in the Clone Wars. So this was, of course, before Episode 3 and after Episode 2 of the movies. So if you've not seen this is where this character came from. Now, Dave Filoni, who created the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels and all that, he created the character of Ahsoka back in the Clone Wars. She's a youngling. She's learning from Anakin. She's his Padawan, et cetera, et cetera. And then it goes on, and the series goes into as she gets older and older. And so Dave Filoni created this character, and he is writing and directing the Ahsoka series. So I have high hopes for it. Rosario Dawson, she's playing Ahsoka, and I love her as an actress. And so I think she's going to do a good job. I think it's going to be I hope it's going to be a good series. So I'm going to be checking it out tonight. But let me know what you think of it as you get a chance to watch at least the first episode. The last show I was going to mention here was the Hardy Boys. Was anybody a Hardy Boys fan? Did you read the books? That kind of thing. So they are doing a TV show. It started in 2020. Season 3 just came out, I want to say a couple of months ago, maybe even a month ago. It was recently. I mean, I used to read the books as a kid. I was a big fan, loved them. Started watching season 1. It's really good. It's a little bit of a slow start, but then it kind of gets going, and then you really get into that Hardy Boys mystery kind of style. Totally family friendly, by the way. So it's along the style of the books, except that I think the show takes place in the 80s, which is also fun. So it's worth checking out. And again, if you do watch that, let me know what you think. Now, new music. I've got 3 songs for you here. I'm just going to throw this one out. I'm a huge fan of Lindsey Stirling. You know this. She does an amazing cover of Led Zeppelin's Kashmir. Oh, man. And of course, it's instrumental, but it's so good. It's so awesome. Ambientalist. I know I've mentioned this group a lot. I mean, they're just so good, though. And it's so chill. And that's what I love about it. There's a new one called Long Way Home. It's really good. It's really just gets you. It's ethereal. And then another one here, John Summit with Hayla, Where You Are. It's a cool song. As I've mentioned before, all of these are in the TRBS 2023 Spotify playlist. So if you're on Spotify, go follow it. And if you're not on Spotify, go check out the songs, put them in your favorite music app or whatever. But that's it. That's all I've got for you. I just wanted to share that. I'm excited for you. You know what the music means, but thanks for joining me. Hey, I really hope that definition of success is really positively healthy and awesome. And I just hope it encourages you. I'm excited for you in that sense. Next week, though, I'm trying to bring some guests on, trying to bring Captain Influence back. That is my goal. But in the meantime, have an absolutely glorious week. Real Brian Show, signing off.
The Real Brian Show is a production of 514 Media at 514mediaempire.com.